Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm Tina from Adventuring with Jeff and Tina. And my better half, Jeff, is not able to attend tonight, but he said to say, hey y'all, he'll definitely be on the next video. So in today's episode, it's all about being RV weather aware. But these tips aren't just for RVers. They're for anyone, because let's face it, we all have run-ins with wicked weather. So we hope you'll stick around, and if you follow us, then you're going to know that I'm back at the local park because my house is noisy. So we're going to have to kick this video from right here. So stick around after the intro and we're going to jump right in. Okay guys, before we get to those tips, I want to give you some stats. So 2021 came in second for the most disasters in a calendar year, and it's only rivaled by the year 2020. So in 2021, there were 688 fatalities due to weather events, whether they were direct or indirect fatalities, and it cost the United States $145 billion, according to the Consumer Price Index. So needless to say, we can tell from these numbers that the U.S. is affected and has been affected by major weather events each year that seem to be growing in number. So we need to have a severe weather plan for our families. And one other statistic that kind of blew me away, and it's really important for those of us who RV or camp, and this is not just full-time people. This is for anybody. If you find yourself in an RV in an area where a storm may be getting ready to happen, you need to know that 40% of all tornado deaths actually occurred in mobile home parks or RV parks. So that's a staggering number. So we need to have a severe weather plan, and we're going to help you do that right now. So we're going to get started with the tips. 3, 2, 1. Okay guys, tip number 1 and my favorite, the Midland weather radio. And this one's a compact one. They have larger ones for your home, and we really like the compact size for our RV. And if you don't have a Midland weather radio, you really should. This is a non-sponsored review. Jeff and I purchased this with our own money, but we really believe in the safety that it provides, the advanced warning that it provides. So as you can see, it's compact. It has a crank, a hand crank, and it has a bright LED flashlight on the end, and it's an AM FM radio as well as a weather radio. So you can't just rely on your phone, because as we know, cell service could go out or your battery could die, and sometimes in the middle of the night I don't hear my phone alerts, but this one, you're going to hear it, trust me. So Midland, the good folks at Midland, were wonderful to our viewers, and were kind enough to provide a 10% discount code. So if you go to the description, you're going to find the coupon code, which is JNT10, and you will save 10% on the Midland radio. These run about $49.99. So guys, if you haven't purchased one, you should definitely think about it, especially if you're traveling in your RV. Tip number 2, consider downloading a weather radar app on your phone. Jeff and I use MyRadar, but that's just what we use. That's what we prefer. But we like knowing where the storm is headed so that we can get out of Dodge if we need to, and kind of have a little bit of notice as to what's coming our way. Tip number 3, if you're traveling, know the city or the county that you are traveling or going to be spending time in. This is really important so that you can get a local weather station, so that you can follow the local guidelines for whatever county that you happen to find yourself in if severe weather does come your way. Tip number 4, and this one's for RVers. When you pull into a campground, it's a good idea to kind of get the lay of the land, kind of figure out where the shelter might be in a specific campground. Those would be bathrooms, bathhouses, common areas such as the lodge or a game room, anywhere that if you have to leave your RV because of a possible tornado or maybe even straight line winds, that you can go and find some shelter in. One thing that Jeff and I do every time we go into a campground is we kind of scan the area, we get the map, and we locate where the safe shelter areas would be. And we highly recommend this because, like we said before, we were in Ocala in a campground when a tornado touched down about 5 miles from where we were at. And we were having really bad weather, and we were debating, should we leave our RV and go into one of the safe shelters? And we did have that option. So know where the safety shelters are or what could be used as a safety shelter in your campground. Tip number 5, have a go bag. A bag that is ready to grab and go if you had to evacuate wherever you're traveling, whether it be, you're in a hotel or you're in your RV or even in your house. Everyone should have a place that they can grab some documents that they may need in case they are forced into a shelter situation or to leave their home. Those kind of documents that you would want to keep in that bag would be things like birth certificates, passports, insurance policy declaration pages, anything about your insurance policies, both for medical, your dental, and even your homeowner's insurance or your RV insurance, whatever it is, automobile, you're going to need those items. It wouldn't be a bad idea to, if you're traveling with pets, to have their vaccination records in case you have to enter a shelter situation. Collapsible water bowl if you have pets. Those kind of things. It wouldn't hurt to have a couple of, granola bars, maybe a bottle of water or two, even a first aid kit. But a go bag is really important and something that we all should have, whether we are traveling or just even in our house. Because let's face it, weather situations happen all the time. Just look what's going on right now in Yellowstone National Park. So those people had to leave and leave quickly. So I'm sure that a go bag would have helped them, and hopefully they did have one. Tip number 6, and I hope this one never happens. If a tornado is imminent and there is shelter, find shelter and stay there until it is safe. But if there is no shelter and you are in your RV, leave your RV. I said leave your RV because, like I said in the beginning of the video, 40% of tornado deaths occurred in people in mobile homes or RV parks. And that can even happen in straight line winds. So if you're feeling like the winds are picking up and there's no safe place to go for you and there is no shelter, you are better off outside in a ditch or a low-lying area than you are in your RV. So that's a really important one. So guys, I just hope that you never find yourself in that situation, but if you do, that's what needs to happen. And last but not least, tip number 7. If you find yourself in a flood situation, like so many have in Yellowstone National Park just this past week, and my heart really goes out to them, and we're sending thoughts and prayers to them for their safety. But if you find yourself in a flood situation and you're attempting to leave, never, ever, ever attempt to drive a flooded roadway. Many times it is much deeper than you anticipate, and there's even a current that is going to wash your car or your vehicle down the river, really, because that's what it becomes. It becomes a river. And so never ever attempt to drive in standing water. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. As you might know, Jeff and I are not full-time RVers. We are weekend warriors. And we travel whichever way makes sense for us. Sometimes that is, most of the time it's with our RV because that's our favorite. But sometimes we travel on a plane or any other way that makes more sense. But having a severe weather plan, no matter what your plans are, is really important. So if you guys liked this video, please hit the like button. It really helps our channel. And if you haven't subscribed and you're new here, we would really hope that you would consider subscribing. And we'll catch you down the road, guys. Oh, and before we go, have you been in crazy, wicked weather? And if you have, drop it in the comments below. We love reading your comments, and it helps the community. So guys, we'll see you down the road.